Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is 3:30 PM, Monday, December 11th, 2023. This is a meeting of Joint Personnel, Compensation, and Labor Relations Advisory Committee, and all legislators have been invited to attend. A copy of the agenda for this meeting may be found on the county website under the tab for the legislature. I'm going to ask you now to please silence your phones and electronic devices. And I'm going to ask you to please rise for the pledge to the flag. Legislator Hines, will you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, great. Okay, so I'll need roll call for both, correct, Kelly?
Yes.
For Personnel and Compensation Committee members first, please.
Okay, Benton.
Here.
Russia.
Here.
Fagion.
Here.
O'Donnell.
Here.
Nuda.
Here.
Duke. Lujan. Sassy.
Here. And for Labor Relations Advisory Committee, please.
Benton.
Here.
Fagion.
Here.
Hines.
Here.
Duke. Piskevich. Swatzel.
Here.
And Sassy.
Here.
5 present, 2 absent.
Okay, great. Good afternoon, everyone. We have one item on the agenda today, a big item here, important one. Dr. Christine Young, President, Orange County Community College, and Paul Martlin, Vice President of Administration and Finance from Orange County Community College. Orange County Community College requests approval and execution of the proposed contract with the Staff and Chair Association of Orange County Community College as per the Memorandum of Agreement, MOA, between the county, the college, and the association dated November 6, 2023, for the period September 1, 2023 through August 31, 2026. Legislative request number 323. Do I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Legislator O'Donnell, seconded by Legislator Tortel. Good afternoon, Orange County Community College. The floor is yours. Go right ahead.
Good afternoon. Thank you. Thank you to both committees for assembling today to hear this. I will speak briefly and then certainly turn this over to Paul for the details. I'm pleased to bring to you today for your consideration and hopeful approval of this contract with the Staff and Chair Association. First, I'll note that this was, I've been directly involved with negotiations for 15 years, and this was the most cordial I think I've been involved with. So I want to note that that the Staff and Chair Association, college, and on your behalf, the trustees in the county enjoyed a very pleasant negotiation. I believe that through the parties, the county will hear that some of the goals that you would want to see achieved were achieved in this negotiation, that the Commissioner of Human I just blanked on that. Human Resources, thank you. Which commission here? Human Resources was engaged throughout the 1-year process, at the beginning, setting goals, and then updated throughout, and is aware of the results. I would say the highlights, this is a 3-year contract, average annual increase of 3.17% on wages throughout, and that on the health insurance side, what was of interest here is since everyone was already paying into health insurance that had been achieved previously, we focused on the contribution cap, which there would be a gain there, so moving it from 6% to 7%. I think Paul will talk about some other items and certainly we can discuss. Anything else you're interested in?
I'm sorry, you have the motion and the second, but we have one individual's on P&C, the other one's on labor. I would need 2 from P&C. And
I'll second.
Second by Legislator Russia. Okay.
So I guess I'll move labor relations.
Second labor relations.
Housekeeping. Sorry, go ahead, Mr. Martin.
Quite all right. First of all, I'd just like to reiterate and expand a little bit on what Dr. Young mentioned. I've been involved in labor relations activities for 4 decades now. And this was, I think, probably the most professional negotiation I've ever been a part of. And I really commend the leaders of the Staff Chair Association, led by Dr. Sheila Stepp as president and Liza Fergola as co-president, for setting that tone within their membership. The NYSET representative Mike Siegel also carried that level of professionalism. And of course, our side, we had some new faces on the bargaining team. And I think everybody went into this desirous of getting it accomplished and getting it accomplished on time. And I'm very happy to report that we did do that. We went. Go ahead.
Are you gonna be reading from those notes? Is that something we can get copies of rather than?
You actually have, I sent copies when I submitted the resolution.
Oh, okay.
But I could certainly send them again if you need.
And it was all part of the email that was sent.
Yeah, so in the,
Kelly, did you have one over there? I'm
I
sorry.
have one extra.
Yeah, Lee, there's one over there.
Okay.
in the email, I sent you a copy of the MOA between the parties. And that's rather complicated to understand without a copy of the contract, so I sent an electronic copy of the previous contract. A copy of the actual signature page for the MOA, just so you could see that it had been signed by representatives of the union, myself, and Commissioner Chapman. And I think that was, this summary, which makes it, so hits the highlights. This was actually prepared for our board of trustees when we met with them to explain what was going on. And that, it's a couple pages. That's probably the easiest thing to understand. So back to the process. We started meeting with the unions, and we met every 2 weeks in the beginning, and then every week for about 2 hours each time. We had about 21 meetings, so we had plenty to talk about. But as I said, all of the meetings were focused on getting things done. And we did indeed. We went for a 3-year contract as opposed to the 5 years that had been traditional, because at the beginning of this time, the inflation rates were so high that I didn't want us to commit us to something based on high rates now that we might live to regret if rates come down. So we went for the 3-year as sort of an appropriate time period. As President Young mentioned, the average annual value is 3.17%, and that breaks down to 4% in the first year and 2.75% in years 2 and 3. The reason for the 4% in the first year is we wanted to match what would be in place with one of the other unions on campus, the Faculty Association Union, which had negotiated a 3.25% increase for next year. So we matched that. And then the Staff Chair Union also has a salary administration program built into their contract with grades and minimum, midpoints, and maximums for each of the grades. All the jobs are assigned to grades. So we moved the grades by 0.75%. So that's where the 4 comes from. And breaking down the other 2 years, it's 2% for the wage increase, and again, 0.75% increase for the grades. One of the interesting things on the financial side was in the Staff Chair Union, the chairs, the department chairs. So these are faculty representatives that serve either as department chair, department assistant chair, or a program coordinator. They get stipends for those roles that are governed by the staff chair contract. Traditionally, those numbers have either gone in step with the wage increases, or last time around, they were 2% a year for all of the various stipends, and we held that to 1.5% this year. So the actual cost the total cost is a little less than 3.175%. And the reason I keep mentioning that figure is when we started the process, I met with the commissioner of HR here at the county to get an understanding of what the hopes were for various contracts that are under negotiation. And he indicated that the range of 3% average annual value to 3.25% average annual value was what they were looking for. And he would be pleased if we could accomplish that. So the fact that we did. And then the other thing we spoke about was this whole issue of health insurance. We have reached the point at the college where all of the bargaining units plus the management confidential all contribute in some way to health insurance. But with the bargaining units, the amount that it can be increased each year is subject to a cap. And that cap has been 6%. So unfortunately, with the one notable exception where it actually went down a couple of years ago, the increases have been more than the cap. So what we thought made more sense than trying to get another % or 2 of the, of salary of the total premium as paid by the employee, we said we need to work on the cap. We didn't get a long way, but we took another step. So we went from 6% to 7% and established the fact that that will be subject to bargaining each round as we go along. So it's not from a dollar perspective, it's not a huge thing, but it is a significant one in my view. As I said, there were many language items that were discussed. Important to those of us at the college and sort of day operation and administration of the contract, but probably not something that would interest you folks in great detail. So I think I would stop there and be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions? Steve, go ahead.
Yeah, just briefly. I know you had to probably match another contract. When you give 4% at the front end, that amounts to a fair amount more money than it does at the tail end.
Yes, because it does compound. Yeah, one of the things I felt very strongly about was that we needed to match the first year of this contract to what the faculty association was getting. And I knew that it cost us more that way. But I think to establish, credibility within the bargaining activity, that was critical.
I believe this is in your budget too. It's all there.
Yes, yeah, we budgeted for all of this.
Anyone else? Okay, seeing none. Any other legislators? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So carried. Thank you very much.
You have to do both.
Thank you.
Oh, we need separate votes here, I'm sorry.
Yes.
So P and C committee, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, so carried. Labor Relations Advisory Committee, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So carried. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
very much.
And a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion in a second, and we have E and E coming up in about 17 minutes. We had two, Lori.